Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to talk about self-forgiveness. My name is Izaim Jabahiwa, and I'm a trained health psychologist. Today I'm going to talk about self-forgiveness. Self-forgiveness is a journey which one has to travel. In the presentation, I'm going to focus mainly on three main issues, which are the meaning of self-forgiveness, self-forgiveness model, and the process of self-forgiveness. One can ask, why talk about self-forgiveness? Many people are living in guilt, shame, and condemnation because of what they did in the past. Unfortunately, counseling support is focused on forgiving others, interpersonal forgiveness, and not focusing on self-forgiveness. As a result of the above, many continually beating up themselves and see their lives as terrible. Self-forgiveness from what? Self-forgiveness from hurting others and hurting self. Hurting others, it is through violent behaviors, cheating, false witness, and child neglect or parent neglect. Hurting self, maybe someone has been in promiscuous behavior and end up having STIs. Or someone, the partner leaves them because of their behavior. Or a child dies in an enfermo when birthing. That does not mean you are a bad person. Self-forgiveness is very crucial. Hurting others or yourself can be traumatic with a life-long impact. Hence, self-forgiveness, without forgiving yourself, you will live in a perpetual life, in perpetual life with shame, guilt, and self-blame, which is harmful to the body, to relationship, to the soul and spirit, and to personal productivity. To the body, the person who has headaches, the person who has blood pressure, and to relationship, this can lead to divorce, separation, not even have another relationship after another have ending, either through death or divorce. This can lead to isolation. To the soul and spirit, one can have anxiety, depression, which can lead to suicidal thoughts or complete suicide. Insomnia, failing to sleep, is another sign that the person has failed to forgive themselves. It can affect personal productivity, lack of focus on personal goals. For example, when someone failed school or failed a competition, the person will not have personal goals because they don't see anything good coming from themselves because they've failed to forgive themselves from the past. So, what is self-forgiveness, ladies and gentlemen? A willingness to abandon self-resentment and blame in the face of one's acknowledged objective wrong, while fostering compassion, generosity, and love towards self. In short, self-forgiveness is some kind of personal healing from past mistakes and wrongdoing to self or to others. It is a process of taking the necessary action to overcome perpetual shame and guilt to reclaim inner peace, which is crucial for someone. Self-forgiveness is a personal choice. It is something which is crucial to an individual. A personal decision which benefits you. Your choice to forgive yourself, this does not mean you are carelessly taking yourself off the hook. Self-forgiveness is a spiritual act. In many religions, self-forgiveness is a crucial facet. And self-forgiveness is a life skill required by all, although wrongly focused on few people. These have been supported by our religions, which are different. That self-forgiveness, it is something which is very crucial. But people, most of the time, they focus on people who walked away from relationship or marriages. People who have failed to make it in life. People suffering from lifestyle disease, including chronic illness such as HIV and AIDS, at which that's not the case. Every human being needs self-forgiveness. Allow me to focus on this model, to explain this model of self-forgiveness. Though there are many, but today I'm going to focus on the model of Hall and Fincham. Transgressions, that's where the model starts. When someone identifies something bad which has happened in their life. This can lead to someone to have the feelings of guilt and shame. When someone has the feelings of guilt and shame, it leads to conciliatory behavior and to perceived forgiveness from a victim or from high power, which is from Allah or from God. This will lead to someone to have self-forgiveness, which is very crucial in life. Some signs that the person is not forgiven him or herself, including self-criticism, persistent self-blaming themselves. I don't think even today I'm going to be in another relationship, I'll be able to sustain it because of my past mistakes, at which that's not the case. That's the past. Repeated wrongdoing. Self-neglect, e.g. on dressing or in exercise. Drug abuse, at which the individual wants to numb that feeling of self-forgiveness. This can lead to isolation, moodiness, and rage. Process of self-forgiveness. It starts with the feeling of guilt and shame, and move on to acceptance, reflection, making amends, and recovery, and forgiving yourself. I'm going to explain this in the following slides. Feelings of guilt and shame. I feel so bad that someone died while I'm driving in the car. I do not deserve to live. I facilitated murder. That's not the case. You have to forgive yourself. I feel terrible. I cheated on my partner. I don't deserve to be in another marriage again. It's a sign that someone didn't self-forgive themselves. And it's very crucial to move on to the next stage, which is the stage of acceptance, taking responsibility. Acknowledge wrongdoing or mistakes made, whether caused or accidental. Take responsibility of what happened. Acknowledge that because of the hard attitudes, feelings, and expectations of people concerned may have changed. Lastly, acknowledge that you are an imperfect human being. Like all human beings, you are capable of wrongdoing, but it's very crucial to self-forgive. Reflection and conversation with yourself. Reflect on why things happened the way they did. Don't hunt for excuses or justification. In counseling, that's when we use a full-length mirror. The person will view themselves on the mirror and have time to talk to him or herself. I have one of my clients who once said, I had a chance of looking myself on the mirror and I identified the cracked parts in my heart and I managed to amend them. And it helped her to have a strong character and to start life again, which was so flourishing. Reflect on perceived or real feelings and expectations of the people you had. Draw lessons from what happened. What should I avoid in future, so that I will not make the same mistakes again? Gain some understanding about yourself, past and upbringing. And move on, make amendments. If you hurt yourself, make amendments with yourself. Tell yourself what you did to yourself was wrong, and you are willing to move on with life. If you are a religious person, ask God for forgiveness or any other high powers for forgiveness. Remember, it may take time for some people to accept your amendments if you have hurt other people. Tell the complete truth about you harmed others and yourself. Ask for forgiveness for those who harmed, for those you harmed before you can ask for forgiveness for yourself. However, you should be able to identify unrealistic expectations. For example, you might be healed tomorrow, or people will be able to forgive you from your past mistakes. Be patient, sincere, and wise. Recovery and reconciliatory behavior. Intentionally plan to repair spiritual, social, physical, and psychological harm done to self and other people. Show that you have learned from your past mistakes and wrongdoing. Be mindful of your thoughts, emotions, and expressions. Avoid repeating the same mistake wrong done again. Commit to respecting positive personal, social norms, and values. When necessary, you may require to go through rehabilitation, counseling, or other support to avoid repeating the same mistake. Forgive yourself is very crucial. This is the last stage of self-forgiveness. Let bygones be bygones. Focus on the now. Take what happened in the past as lesson learned. Make peace with yourself. Practice positive confession about yourself. Affirm your skills, knowledge, and personality. Moving on and refocus your goals, career, and family. Restore positive habits such as self-care, mindfulness, exercising, etc. Above all, it is important to count your blessings. Don't focus on other people, but focus on yourself as you are working on your self-forgiveness. In my conclusion, it's about time psychologists focus on both interpersonal and intrapersonal forgiveness. As much as you forgive others, you should be willing to forgive ourselves. Every human being is capable of hurting others. Every human being has past traumatic experiences. And it is very important to focus on the now and have life goals which are focusing on the future and leaving the past. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to my presentation. Hope it will be able to help someone in life. Thank you.